What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. And the New York Mets, the offense finally doing what we all requested them to do, which was tear the damn cover off the ball. And funny enough, too, they do it when Francisco Lindor wasn't even in the lineup. And he did have, of course, his son yesterday. So not that he's watching this, not that anyone in his family is watching this, but congrats to him. I might as well say it. But the Mets offense finally goes off, doing what we have been waiting for him to do. Starling Marte in the leadoff spot, I hated, but he impressed me. He impressed me tonight. And this offense in general just finally came through, doing what we were waiting for them to do, doing what we expected them to do when these guys are making the money they're making and with the names that are in this lineup. And it was the production in the bottom part of the lineup. It was everywhere. And then how about results, man? Giving some volume tonight, which it almost didn't matter because of the fact that Danny Young had to give us a mini heart attack at the end, and just God forbid he throws a strike and gets the game done and over with, which is the only reason why the Marlins even scored 4 runs in this game, because it was a 10-2 lead going into that final frame there. So either way, yeah, it was kind of just a wash there. Danny Young probably not going to be in this bullpen for much longer once Nunez is healthy, once other arms start to progress, once Mania comes back, maybe he's gone, even Paul Blackburn. So it is what it is. Just throw him into the fire and use the ammo while you got it from Danny Young. We're going to talk about everything, though. Please be sure to leave a like on your way to the post-game stream. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live here on the channel. But just beautiful baseball to watch. And you know what, though? I'll be honest. I was not thrilled in the first few innings, and I really thought it was going to be a long night yet again with this offense, considering how the first inning went, where after Marte strikes out, Juan Soto gets that single. And this was the first time this season where I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, I don't expect much here, but please prove me wrong. And unfortunately, they did not prove me wrong, as Pete Alonso pops out there, and then Brandon Nimmo grounds out, swinging at the first pitch as well, which was very infuriating. Bottom of the first comes around, and Peterson strikes out Edwards and then allows that home run to Otto Lopez. And all of a sudden, I got a little bit worried because this offense has not been producing. And the first inning was really what we've seen over the first 3 games with this offense. So I felt, okay, this is going to be a long night, isn't it? But then he gets the next 2 strikeouts. And I thought that David Peterson, as the outing went along, was a little bit better in terms of his pitch mix. But we'll talk more about him after. Second inning, yet again, the Mets offense doing what they've been doing. You have Mark Vientos, who ropes a beautiful leadoff double, and then the next 3 outs come easily. And then all of a sudden, 2 leadoff walks or a leadoff walk and then back-to-back walks, I should say, for David Peterson to start the second inning. And my heart was racing at that point because I thought, it's going to be that type of night, isn't it? And then Liam Hicks with a sacrifice bunt gets the next 2 strikeouts to work out of the jam. We go to the third inning after Siri strikes out. Starling Marte, I don't know how he was able to get a hold of this pitch. And I was pissed when I saw him in the leadoff spot. Shut me the hell up. He gets his first home run since June against the same Marlins team as well, tying this game up at 1. And the Mets all of a sudden have a little bit of life there. Juan Soto would fly out. Alonso gets that single. And then, like I said, Peterson started to settle in a little bit. He was doing a thing, though, where he was allowing way too many leadoff walks. There was also some stranded base runners in the 4th inning, or one stranded base runner because you had Torrens who got that single, and then Beatty hits it to that double play there. Peterson, though, in that 4th inning, got into a little trouble. Like I said, had the walk, allowed a single, works out of trouble, though, getting that huge double play. Results, man, getting results. And then the 5th inning comes along. Luis Angel Acuna gets that leadoff single, and then Jose Siri, the aura man himself, gets a double to make it 2-1, brings in Acuna, and the offense started to click here. You get that hit by pitch there, Starling Marte taking one for the team, which he got hit twice in this game. Juan Soto ends up drawing that beautiful walk, as he does per usual there. Just competitive at-bats always from him. And then Pete Alonso hitting a grand slam. It was a matter of when, not if, he would get his first home run of the season, and it happened in as big of a spot as it possibly could, to end up giving them a 6-1 lead. As that inning was unfolding, I was saying, and this was before Pete Alonso came up, I mean, blow the game open here. If you don't blow the game open here, I'm not going to feel great about the chances going as this game progresses. Like, they had to blow it open there. Even a sacrifice fly and, getting through 3-1, I would not have felt comfortable going forward in this game, which it probably wouldn't have mattered because they would have used more high leverage arms. But either way, they blew this game open. Nimmo hits into that line out. Mark Vientos then draws a walk, and that was also a very, very solid at bat. Not that the takes were anything impressive outside of one pitch in that at bat, but either way, you like to see Vientos draw a walk. And then Luis Torrens ends up hitting a home run. It goes off of the glove of Hill over in center field to make it 8-1. Beatty gets a double, and then they turn over the lineup. Unfortunately, they would not have the same luck there. But the sixth inning too, Starling Marte got hit by a pitch. Soto hit into a double play. But then you have Alonso walk, Nimmo getting a home run too. It's amazing how when this offense clicks, it's everyone clicking at once. Sixth inning, Wagaman ended up hitting a home run, which I'm not going to kill Peterson for. You don't nibble the zone when you're up by 9 runs at that point. But there is something to be said about a lot of the contact that was coming off of David Peterson. I was noticing at least was off of the sinker and fastball, which we know he doesn't have the overpowering sinker and fastball, but it was just kind of the location thing. It was a weird start for Peterson, honestly, because he had a couple of walks, but he also had 9 strikeouts to go along with it, getting some swing and miss stuff, which it is the Marlins, so you could maybe chalk it up to that a little bit. But I also think that on top of that, it was just that his off-speed stuff was very solid. I mean, on that slider, he had 6 whiffs on 7 swings. Like, that is something to note, of course. And then even the changeup getting a couple of whiffs as well. 2 whiffs on 9 swings. That's what I'm saying. Like, the sinker and fastball, we know it's not powerful from Peterson, and we saw more of that tonight. It was just kind of a location thing. Again, just a weird start for him because the command was all over the place at points. And there were too many times he was walking the leadoff batter or allowing a hit to the leadoff man. But again, I'm not going to kill him for letting up a home run in that spot because I want you to throw strikes when the team's up by that many runs. Like, there's no reason not to. And then he only allowed a single that inning, and that was the end of that. The Mets go down in order in the 7th inning. And then Huáscar Brosbaum put together, again, another good performance. He got into trouble in the 8th inning, which that's something that continues to happen as Mendoza continues to push more out of these guys. But still, I mean, he doesn't allow a run despite allowing 2 base runners there. And, you had that pass ball there too. But again, does a good job there. And then Danny Young gets the first 2 outs easily. Unfortunately, gave us a little bit of a heart attack, allowed a couple of singles there, and was walking a batter as well, which can't happen when you're up by 8 runs at that point in the game. Either way, though, the Mets get the job done. So I'm not going to sit here and be mad one bit. And it's funny because they were 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. So you could argue there was more to be, had there with the offense, even though they were as great as they were, and even though they were clicking on all cylinders this evening, which I, though, am very happy about. So again, this is what I expect from this offense, and there's no reason to not believe that this is what we're going to get going forward from them. No reason not to believe. The expectation is not, of course, 10 runs every night. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say they got to score 10 runs every time. But they need to be, in this neighborhood of, giving you some big innings like this. But yeah, I was very impressed. It sucks that the bullpen streak got ruined of no runs because of Danny Young there. It was going to happen eventually. And you know what? If it's going to end, I would rather it end in a blowout game where they still win versus the bullpen streak ending where it's a close game and Edwin Diaz is allowing some runs and then we're all throwing up at the TV and all pissed off. So you got to take what you can there. But either way, the thing that, and I will say this because I see your comment here, Matt. I shouldn't say he gave a heart attack, but it was more, I didn't want them to have to use Edwin Diaz for any pitches there. I want them to have Edwin Diaz available for tomorrow and the day after. 100% without throwing any pitches. So that was kind of more my thing there, where I was going to be annoyed if they had to go to Diaz there. So I'll say that. But yeah, Peterson's start, again, just a weird one. They got a hit though from everyone in this offense, and you know what the best news is too? They didn't even have to put Lindor in this game, because I was worried that at one point they were gonna have to put Francisco Lindor in this game to get maybe a big hit here and there. But thankfully, that is not what happened. So yeah, let me get to the chat though, see what you guys are saying. Like I said, leave a like if you haven't. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that stuff. Results, man, success. Yes, we love a good David Peterson win. And even when he played that ground ball too, I was like, classic, classic there. I know who Nunez is replacing when he is back. Yeah. And I think the writing was on the wall there with Danny Young, to be completely honest with you. But the more that we see him pitch, the more the writing's just on the wall that it's probably best to cut bait with him. Not that he's a terrible arm, like he's fine for what his role is in the bullpen, but come on, we'd rather Nunez back there in the pen easily. And yeah, Torrens has definitely been good in Alvarez's absence thus far. And we said going into the season, he needs to be off to a hot start because there's a lot of holes in the bottom of the lineup. And even though they didn't show tonight, it has showed over the past 3 games prior to this. So I'm very happy to see that. The thing is now, of course, can the bottom of the order and the middle of the order keep this up against Sandy Alcantara tomorrow, which, I don't think I need to explain this to anyone. One of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. So we'll see. Yeah, Peterson's slider was easily his best pitch, 12 thrown and 7 whiffs. He needs that secondary pitch to be on, similar to McGill. Yeah, 100%. And I think it's more important for Peterson, though, than McGill, just because at least McGill's fastball he could get by with, and it's more powerful, where Peterson, I mean, the blue circles on the Savant page speak for itself. Like, he doesn't have the powerful fastball, and he doesn't it gets hit pretty bad. It gets hit pretty bad every now and then. So, and a sinker too, of course, but that's just kind of what it is. I actually do want to see the hard hit balls that he allowed, if they were, what pitches they were on, because I think that most of it was on, and it had to be. Yeah, like the sinker and the fastball, where he was allowing hard contact, max 105, max 106 on those pitches, and then 97 on the slider. So, I mean, that just says enough there. That just says enough. I like Brosbon adding a cutter to his mix. I thought that pitch looked good for him. Yeah, I 100% agree. I really like Brosbon's stuff. It really just is. We've said it all the time, and we said it multiple podcast episodes. It's just the control with him. And you saw that in the second inning that he gave, where once the control was a little bit out of whack, that's when he got into a little bit of trouble there. I mean, he hit the batter, and even the single he allowed, it's just like he missed his zone by a good amount on that cutter. Just Lopez was able to get a hold of that one. Similarly to the Astros series, I like how they won the first game only using Brosbon and Young. You need your more high leverage guys with Senga on a pitch limit tomorrow. Yeah, and that's where I did worry when Danny Young got into trouble, that they were going to have to utilize more of the bullpen. And if they had to start utilizing more of the bullpen, then that would have changed how we talk about this game, maybe, or tomorrow's game. But thankfully, didn't have to worry about that. Yes, hopefully Senga gives a good start tomorrow. Top of the lineup is going to have to carry tomorrow. Yeah. which hopefully they get contributions all around the lineup. But either way, yeah, the top of the lineup. If Lindor's back in the lineup, would be nice to see him get his first hit of the season. Definitely would be very nice. Yeah, future Mets, and you get a little bit of pre-scouting in there with Sandy. It would be nice. It would be nice, but hopefully he is a little bit of a double agent tomorrow, and he just tears it up here, or he doesn't tear it up tomorrow rather, and then he tears it up when he comes here. Is what I mean. I I don't know why we're talking about McGill needing. I'm not even gonna say it out loud here, but I mean, if you're saying if there's an injury in general, yeah, Sprout would probably be the next guy up, but let's hope there's not. Let's hope there's not any injuries. I could say for certainty that I'd prefer for there to not be. I don't know if I missed something there, but that wouldn't be ideal, especially after what McGill gave last start. Sorry, I just saw what okay Jerem was saying in the chat before about a Ranger signing. Just caught my eye there. I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't need any more injuries to the rotation. Please no. Please no more injuries there. But yeah, nice to see them get the W tonight. Tomorrow it will be Sandy versus Sanga, the ace off that we all want, right? The ace off that we've been waiting for. So let's see what ends up happening tomorrow. Hopefully the offense could carry over what they did tonight. Starman Marte actually has some good success against Sandy. Just looking at the numbers here and 15 at bats. Maybe he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. But we will see what happens. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one.